My dear students, today we will start energy resources. So, what is energy basically? Energy is basically defined by the physicist as the capacity to do work. Whatever we are doing, whatever it is, eating or cleaning our home, and whatever we are playing, it is called the energy. The energy comes from within us. But primarily, the sun is the energy source in our lives. We use it directly for its warmth and through various natural processes that is provided us, that is food, water, fuel, and shelter. The sun rays powers the growth of the plant, which form our food material. And also we all know that plant is basically giving us oxygen to breathe in. Energy from the sun evaporates water from ocean, rivers and lakes to form clouds and that turn into rain. We have already read in the water cycle. So today's fossil fuel were once the forests that grew in the times due to the energy of suns. Chemical energy. Chemical energy that is contained in the chemical compounds that is released when they are broken down in the animals and in presence of oxygen. In India, we all know that manual labor that is still extensively used to get work done in the agricultural system, and domestic animals, they are used to pull carts and plows, and we all know that some electrical energy that is produced in several ways, power transport, artificial lighting, agriculture and industry, this come from the hydel power, that is the power which comes from water. We all know that is based on the water cycle, and that is powered by the sun's energy that supports the evaporation, or from thermal power stations powered by the fossil fuel. So nuclear energy is held in the nucleus of an atom and is now harnessed to develop the electrical energy. So we actually use energy in, basically we use energy in several forms. We need our energy for many things, like whatever we are living our life, we are living our life lavishly, we also need the energy for this one. And also we need transportation. Why we need transportation? Because we need energy demanding roads and railway lines that are built to transport the products from place to place to reach the raw materials in mines and forest. And also we all know that if the train it is going, we all know that the train is going with the energy of electricity. So that is also one very important factor, that we need the energy in both the ways. But there are always some problems. We all know that there are always some problems. So the main problem is that no energy related to the technology is completely risk free, and unlimited demands on energy increase the risk factor in many fold. All energy use creates heats. We all know if we are charging our mobile, it creates heat. If we are watching a movie for a long time in TV or whatever, in a monitor, computer, it becomes heated. So we all know if we are using the energy in a lot more time, so it will produce some heat. Heat means energy. So this energy will be released, and this energy release means carbon dioxide will be released, and it will lead to the global warming. So the nuclear energy plants that have caused enormous losses to the environment due to the leakage of nuclear material, the inability of effectively manage and safely dispose of the nuclear waste is a serious global concern. And that is also a very problematic for all of us, that at present in this world almost 2 billion people worldwide have no access to electricity at all, while we are actually leading our life very lavishly, and we all know that we are whatever we want, we can get those things. But while more people will require more energy, so the people who are not getting energy, they will not get energy anymore. So in addition, a large proportion of energy from electricity is wasted during the transmission as well as the user level. It is broadly accepted that long-term trends in an energy use should be towards a cleaner global energy system that is less carbon intensive and less reliant on finite non-renewable energy sources. So it is estimated that the currently used methods of using renewable energy and non-renewable fossil fuels resources together will be insufficient to meet the global demand. So next 50 to 100 years is maybe a problematic year for many of us, and we all know that we are basically dealing with so many problems with this world. Between 1950 and 1990, that is so much overwhelming and so much disturbing and depressing fact that between 1950 and 1990 the world's energy needs increased fourfold. So in 22 years it has been doubled. The world's total primary energy consumption in 2000, when it was written, that it was 9096 million tons of oil. Remind it, 9096 million tons of oil. A global average per capita that works out to be 1.5 ton of oil. So electricity is at present the fastest growing form of end use energy worldwide. By 2005, the Asia Pacific region is expected to surpass the thing and North America in energy consumption, and by 2020 it is expected to consume some 40% more energy in North America. So can you imagine what kind of energy we are wasting, what kind of energy we basically are not using but we are wasting. So whenever we are in any room and we are going out of the room and we are not using that room anymore, so please tell your family members, and also you do keep it in mind that we should switch off the light and the fan and the energy whatever we are using. At that time, if we are not using, we should switch off those things, because we need to conserve for our future. We need to conserve for many people who are not getting energy at all. So now these types of energy, if the types of energy we can have, so there are two types of main energy, that is non-renewable and renewable energy. Non-renewable energy is the thing which is ignited, that means it is burnt. The fuel is placed in a well contained area and that is set on fire. So the heat is generated, and the heat it will be generated that will turn the water to steam, which moves through a pipe and to turn the blades of the turbine. So this will convert the magnetism into electricity, so which we use in various appliances. So non-renewable energy sources, that are many sources are there. We know fossil fuel, okay, because they are formed after plant life is fossilized. At the present rate of extraction, there is enough coal for a long time to come. Oil and gas resources, however, are likely to be used up within next 50 years. So when these fuels are burnt, they produce waste products that are released into the atmosphere. We know the gases like carbon dioxide, oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, carbon monoxide, and all will cause air pollution. So these have led to lung problem in an enormous number of people all over the world, and they are also affected. The many buildings are also affected. We all know that acid rains are coming, Taj Mahal and all the buildings which is formed with calcium or like this, so they are basically have some erosive thing, erosions are there. So many of these gases also act like the greenhouse, letting the sunlight in and trapping the heat inside. So the greenhouse gases will cause the global warming as well. That will increase the global temperature, increase drought in some areas, floods in the region, the melting ice caps, and rise in a sea level, which is slowly submerging coastal belts all over the world. So this is quite in a warning state. We are all living in a warning state. So Indians, we are having oil, that reserves which are being used at present lie off the coast of Mumbai and in Assam. So most of our natural gas is linked to oil, and because there is no distribution system, it is just burnt off. So this wastes nearly 40% of available gas. So this process of oil and natural gas drilling processing transport and utilization have the serious environmental consequences, such as leaks in which air and water are polluted, accidental fires that may go on burning for days or weeks before the fire can be controlled. So these are the main problems we are having connected to this energy thing, this energy resource. So during the refining of the oil, solid waste such as salt and grease are produced, which also damage the environment. So oil slicks are caused to sea from offshore of oil wells, cleaning of oil tankers, and due to shipwrecks. The most well-known disaster occurred was in Valdez sank in 1989, that birds and turtles, sea fish and other marine life along the coast of Alaska was seriously affected. So we are having so many problems. And coal is also one of the main product of largest contributor of greenhouse gases. That is one of the most important cause of the global warming. So many coal based power generation plants are not fitted with devices such as electrostatic devices that reduce the emission of suspended particulate matter, that is SPM, which is a major contributor of air pollution. So now we should go for the renewable energy. So what is renewable energy? Renewable energy systems use resources that are constantly replaced, and they are usually less polluting. So they are not polluting so much like the non-renewable resources, because these are examples are hydropower, solar power, wind, geothermal power. So we also get renewable energy from burning trees, even garbage as fuel, and processing other plants into biofuel. So one day all our homes may get their energy from the sun or wind. Maybe our car will have gas tank with biofuel. Maybe our garbage might contribute to our city's energy supply. So renewable energy technologies will improve the efficiency and cost of energy systems. So we may reach the point when we may no longer rely mostly on fossil fuel energy. So that's it of my class today. So next we will start with hydroelectric power and some drawbacks are there, and we should know about the drawbacks of this kind of energies, that hydroelectric power and all the energies, they are having large drawbacks. So we should know about this in our next class, and we will study also about the solar energy, the photovoltaic energy and all. Thanks for listening.